Hey, and welcome to a super fun video, if I do say so myself, because we are going to talk about 50 things that we don't buy or do in order to save some money. Now, the reason for it is, first off, we are a one-income family. My husband is the one that works, and I'm the one that also works, but I do it at home. I am a full-time stay-at-home mom. I homeschool our children. I am a homemaker, and I'm actually building a business on the side, but that business doesn't bring in any money yet. So we are a one-income family. And the other thing is, I really want to be careful with how we spend our money. I don't just want to spend our money on everything. I really want to be a good steward of our money. So that is one of the other reasons that we want to be frugal. And another thing is I am really interested in minimalism. Now, I'm not going to be a minimalist, a full-on minimalist, because I just like my stuff. So I'm not going to be a complete minimalist ever, probably. But I do like the thought of just having only those things that are really useful and that you're gonna use and that are bringing you joy, as Marie Kondo would say. But anyway, let's dive into the 50 things because we have a lot to talk about. I did not put them in any categories because I just wrote down everything that came to mind, and right now that is 53 things, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot more things that we don't buy. Let's start with the first one, which is magazines. I never purchased a magazine. My last magazine was like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. And the reason for it is, number one, they have become so expensive. And number two, a lot of the content in a magazine is actually ads, and I don't want to buy ads. So I don't use magazines anymore. I really love using Pinterest. And that is basically my online magazine, so that works fine. Another thing that we do not do is meal subscriptions. I have purchased HelloFresh about 3 years ago when I had our last baby, and it was really convenient, but to be honest, it is just way too expensive for our family because I can cook way cheaper when I do it myself. And the other thing is, I have to cook for 5 grown-ups basically because our children eat a lot. It was so expensive to purchase a box that actually had food for 5 people. A third thing that I never purchase is special makeup or just excess makeup, because I used to do that. I think about, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, I used to do a little more makeup than I do now. And my face did not like it. So I don't do a lot of makeup. I keep it very basic, very natural. And that is something that I really love anyway. So no specialty makeup for me. So number 4 on the list is no sodas. We do not drink any sodas. We actually don't even drink juices. The only thing that we basically drink is water or milk. And for us as adults, we do love coffee and we drink tea, and our children sometimes drink tea, but mostly they just drink water and milk, and that works fine. We don't have all the excess sugar. We don't have all the excess money that we need to spend on all the different types of soda. And it is not good for you anyways. So no sodas in our family. Number 5 is no coffee. And yes, we do drink a bunch of coffee, but we don't purchase coffee for on the go. Whenever I am out in town or whatever, I never purchase a to-go coffee because first off, I really do prefer our home coffee, our homemade coffee. And secondly, it is so expensive. You would pay $4 or $5 for a cup of coffee. Well, I can make it a lot cheaper at home. So we never purchase coffee on the go. Now, the one time we do purchase coffee on the go is when we go on a big road trip, when we go on a vacation, for example, which is another point. We never go on vacation anyway, but the couple of times that we actually did that, we purchased Starbucks a couple of times, and it really was so disgusting to us. Unpopular opinion, but Starbucks is not worth it. So we never purchase it anymore. We actually said last time we purchased Starbucks, we said to each other, please let us remind each other of not purchasing this ever again because this is not worth the money. So no coffee on the go for us. So number 6 on the list is scented candles. Now, we don't do a bunch of candles anyway, but I really don't ever purchase scented candles because they give me a bunch of headache and it's very bad for your health. And I'm trying to go more towards the healthier version of like soy candles and such, but definitely no scented candles. Number 7 on the list, I have never gotten my nails done except for my wedding day, and other than it ruins my nails, it is just not worth the money for me. And along with that, number 8 is I have never ever had fake lashes. I have thought about it, to be honest, but I've never purchased it. I've never had my eyelashes done, and I just cannot justify the money that it costs me. So maybe when I'm a millionaire, who knows? But right now it is not worth it for me. So number 9 on the list is fabric softeners. Now this is something that I recently decided on. I've gone back and forth on this because I had a period where I didn't buy fabric softeners and then I got back to it, but it is just not worth it for me. Health-wise, it is way better to just use vinegar. So I'm going back to using just white vinegar and it works wonders. Okay, so number 10 on the list is I don't purchase extra things of things that I already have and don't use as often. So for example, I have sunglasses, so I'm not going to purchase new sunglasses before these ones break. Number 11 has everything to do with the kitchen, and that is I try to stay away as much as possible from processed foods. So we don't like to purchase things that are overly processed, and sometimes the occasional thing comes in, but overall I really don't like all the processed food. There's so much sugar in it, and I can make a lot of things myself. So why would I purchase the processed stuff if I can make it a lot healthier and a lot more delicious at home? Now, number 12 on the list is pre-cut foods. I basically never purchase pre-cut foods because it is just not worth it for me, except for when I have a recipe that I've never tried and it uses some ingredients that I never really purchase. I might grab a pre-cut vegetable mix, but that is really, I think in our marriage that happened like 3 or 4 times. So basically, I always cut my vegetables myself. Number 13 is no toys with sounds. I really hate it when my child is playing and I constantly hear the same annoying sound. We did get them gifted, unfortunately, but other than that, I never purchase them. I don't want toys with sound. Okay, number 14 is no cable TV, and that is kind of obvious because we don't own a TV. And if you didn't know that, I have a video about it, but we don't own a TV, so we don't need cable TV either. Okay, next on the list is candy. We do not really buy candy, except for those things that are like dried fruit things, but it is not really candy to me. So we don't really buy candy, again, for the sugar, because our children are wild enough from themselves, they don't need any sugar. And number 16 goes along with that. We don't really purchase snacks that are pre-packaged because again, I could make it myself. So why would I purchase something that is way more expensive at the supermarket when I could just package it myself? Number 17, we don't really purchase fashion that is on trend because we just purchase what we like. If I like the dress, I'm gonna purchase it whether other people will like it in this generation or not. I really don't care. If I like it, I'm gonna purchase it. Number 18, I've never ever in my life purchased bleach. I don't really know how to use it. I have no clue how to bleach like duvets or anything like that. I've never tried it. I don't want to try it because it's really bad for your health, so I've never purchased it. Number 19 is fast food. Now, I have a little bit of a side note here, but we really don't like fast food. We never order in. It is just something that we don't like. It is way too expensive and it's just not something that we want to eat, with one exception, and that is Domino's Pizza, because my husband really loves Domino's Pizza. We usually make our own pizza and it really does like that too. But on occasion, when it's his birthday or something like that, or we have something to celebrate, we do like to order Domino's Pizza, but that is literally like 2 or 3 times a year. Okay, so number 20 on the list is skincare systems. I am very bad at doing skincare, to be honest. And I purchased some skincare systems in the past, but I never really use it. So I do have it, but I never purchase it, and I'm not gonna buy it again because it is just not something that I use. If I ever start to use it, then I might purchase more of that. But for now, I have a bunch of it in my cupboards and it doesn't get touched. So number 21 is uncomfortable shoes. Now, as a mom, I cannot handle walking in uncomfortable shoes. So no uncomfortable shoes for me. Okay, so next on the list is unmodest clothing, and that is something I've never really purchased because I don't like showing cleavage or having skirts that are too short. I really like things to be modest and feminine and really to look good without showing too much of yourself. Number 23 is the newest gadgets, or when the new iPhone comes, I don't need to have it right away. That is not something we do, and my husband really does love gadgets. But we learned over the years that that is not something we want to spend our money on. So we really try to stay away from all the new things, the new phones and all that, and just be thankful for what we have. And whenever we need something new, then we might purchase the newest edition, but not just to have the newest edition. Okay, number 24 is a fun one. We never purchase useless toys or duplicates of something that we already own. So for example, our children have a train set. I'm not going to purchase another one because we have one, so I don't need more than one. But that also applies to coloring books, for example. I don't want my children to have 20 coloring books with all being half colored in. No, we have a coloring book, you color this one, and once this one is full, then we purchase a new one. So I don't really like to purchase duplicates of things that we already have, and I don't like useless toys. So not a toy that they don't play with, which you don't always know up front, but I don't like toys that are just dancing in front of you and you don't do anything with it, you just look at it. That is useless to me. It needs to be something that they can actually play with, that sparks creativity, and that is really something that they can learn from, for example. So educational toys, or at least toys that are sparking creativity instead of just looking at it. Okay, next up on the list is paid apps. I really don't ever purchase an app, and I hardly ever purchase something in an app because oftentimes you can find it for free online, and if it's something that is really useful and that I really want to purchase, then yes, I will purchase the app. But so far, I've never had anything like that, so we don't really do paid apps. Okay, number 26 is craft boxes. Now, this is a tough one for me because I really do love scrapbooking, so I love purchasing all the paper and all the stuff, but I really don't want to purchase a box with all sorts of things combined into one box that doesn't get used. So whenever I go to a dollar store or something and you have those little fun craft boxes, I really try to just walk past it because yes, the paper looks cute, but we never use it anyway. So no craft boxes for us. Okay, then number 27 is something that I'm really trying to lean more towards, and that is not too many clothing for the kids. I love buying children's clothing. It is just so cute. Even though they are big now, I still like purchasing kids' clothing, but I really want to stay within a sort of a capsule wardrobe for the kids as well, because they grow out of it so fast. So I really try to keep myself to a number of items that I have for the children and stick to it. And in the next season, I can purchase more stuff. Okay, number 28 is new bedding. I don't have to have a bedroom that looks Pinterest worthy. And if it's not broken, I don't fix it. Number 29 is a gym membership because number one, it is very expensive. And number two, I don't like to exercise. So I don't want to go to a gym and do my exercises, even though it might be good for me, but right now it's not in our budget. Number 30 is cookbooks. I love cookbooks. They are so beautiful to me. And those are things that I would love to have an entire shelf of in our house. But like I said in the beginning, I am trying to be more minimal, and if I don't use it, why would I have it in my house? And cookbooks honestly never really get used. Even though I have some really gorgeous cookbooks, I don't ever use them. If I want to cook a recipe, I usually use my own recipe binder, or I use just Pinterest and I grab a recipe from there. So I hardly ever use a cookbook, so I don't purchase them anymore. Okay, number 31 is things that I might need one day. So if it's something that is on a good sale, that has a great discount, but I don't really need it at this point, I'm not gonna purchase it, except for food. When it's a really great deal and I know I can keep it for a while, then yes, I will purchase it. But other than that, I don't purchase things that I might need at some point. So number 32 is no alcohol. And this is something we recently decided on. It's not that we are completely against alcohol, but it's just not something that we enjoy anymore, at least. So maybe when it's Christmas, we might get a red wine with our turkey. But other than that, we don't really purchase alcohol at all. Okay, then number 33 is an interesting one because I don't purchase emergency food. I tried to get an emergency food supply in our pantry, but it's just, we don't really have the room for it. And I realized that a lot of those items never get used. So right now I'm actually trying to get rid of all the things that I purchased about a year ago, and we never really use it. So what I decided to do is, instead of having an emergency food supply in a separate area, I have more than one thing of our pantry items. So for example, tomato sauce, we use that a lot. So I just make sure that I always have that in my pantry, and I have a few cans or things like that that we use often, but not a specific food supply area where there's only emergency food. Number 34 is we don't purchase expensive clothing because right now it is not in our budget, and I really do like shopping sale. So that is what we try to do all the time, even though I do believe in quality over quantity. So we try to stay away from the very cheap stores as well, not too many fast fashion items. But right now it's not in our budget to purchase a $300 coat. So we don't buy that expensive stuff. Number 35 is no air freshener, and same with the scented candles. It is really bad for you, so no air freshener for us. Number 36 is no bottled water. I've never purchased bottled water in my life except for when we were at a theme park or something and I forgot my water bottle. But other than that, I just fill it up at home and bring my own water. Number 37, we never purchase music anymore because we have a Spotify subscription, and that works really great, so no more music for us. Number 38 is single-use items. I really try to stay away from that because it is just very expensive. Even though it might be convenient, it's not worth it for me. Number 39 is home decor because I really don't want to have a bunch of seasonal items. Every once in a while, I might purchase one or maybe two things, but honestly, in a year, I think I buy like 2 or 3 things that are specifically home decor items. Number 40, I don't purchase hair products, and what I mean by that is styling products. Yes, I do use shampoo, but other than that, no hair products for me. Number 41, I really don't ever purchase an item that is for a special occasion, so not a specific dress that is only going to be suitable for a wedding. When I purchase something for a wedding, I make sure that it's something that I can also wear in my day-to-day life. Okay, number 42 is we never purchase cheap, low-quality products either. So we don't buy expensive stuff, but we don't buy the cheap, low-quality things either. My husband really swears by quality over quantity. If it's something that we're really going to use, we purchase the best one that is within our budget instead of just going for the most cheap item that we can find. Number 43, I never purchase a candy bar at checkout. There are so many amazing candy bars at checkout, but when you purchase them in a package with 5 or 10 or whatever, you can get it for much cheaper. Now, we never purchase candy anyway, but a candy bar, that is very bad for your budget if you purchase it at checkout instead of just purchasing a bigger package, a family-sized package. Okay, number 44 is cheap things that we don't really need. So a lot of times when we go to Dollar Tree type of stores, there are so many cute things that are just like $1 or $2 that look cute and the children like it, but I don't buy them because I don't want to have a bunch of decor items that have been cheap but that are really useless. So why would I purchase them? It is a waste of money, and those $1 and $2 items, that actually stacks up and really is a dent in your budget. Okay, number 45 is deals that I don't need. Now those are things that, for example, if I never eat cucumbers, why would I purchase the deal where you have 2 cucumbers for, I don't know, 20 cents? Even though it is very cheap, if I don't eat it, why would I purchase it? So those are things that I never buy. Okay, number 46 is the hairdresser. Now my husband does go to the hairdresser, and I go once every 3 to 4 years because between those hairdresser trips, I just cut it myself, to be honest. But for our children, I always cut their hair myself. I just learned how to do boys' hair. My daughter doesn't really need much of a chop, so I just learned to do it myself for both my hair and that of our children. So number 47 is something I really wish I could purchase, but that is something that we can't do, and that is a massage. I would love to go somewhere and to have a massage one day. I would love that. I would love to have a day at a spa with my husband and to just have a massage, but for now it is not in our budget and it's not something that is necessary, so I'm not even gonna save up for it. Now number 48 is something that is only now, and that is books. Because I really love books. I love the feel of a book, so I really do love purchasing books. But right now we have so many books that we haven't read yet that I decided together with my husband that we're not gonna purchase books in a long time because we first need to read what is in our cupboard before we purchase any new ones. Now number 49 is we don't really do subscriptions. The only subscriptions are those that we need, for example, for our business or whatever. But other than that, we don't really do subscriptions, and we try to stay away from that as much as possible because that is something that you need to do every single month. Number 15 is bags or a phone case or things like that because I don't really need it. I have one, and like I mentioned earlier, if I have it, I don't really need to purchase a new one. So no new phone case that is in trend or a new bag that fits better with my outfit. No, I have one, so I don't need a new one. Number 51 is theme parks and the zoo and things like that, because it is so expensive. I really don't want to spend my money on it, because when we go to the zoo with our family of 5, that is the same amount of money that I could use to eat 1 or 2 weeks with an entire family. And that is just not worth it for me at this point in time. Number 52 is we never really eat out except for a special occasion, because again, it is very expensive. I can make meals at home that are way cheaper, that are very delicious, so we don't really go out except for when it's a birthday or we have something very big to celebrate. Then yes, of course, we do like to go out, but it's not something that is in our budget constantly, just in order to save some money. Now, number 53 is one that is actually really sad, and I wish it was different, but we never go on a vacation. With our children, we only went on a vacation once, but it's just something that is not in our budget. We cannot really afford it right now, and that is one of the sacrifices that we had to make for me to be able to stay home and to homeschool them. So we really had to make that, sacrifice, and we decided that that was worth it for us. But anyway, those are the 53 things that we do not do or own as a family. I really hope that this was helpful to you, that it helps you to be more frugal and maybe even more minimalistic than you are right now. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them below, but I would love to see you in my next video. So be sure to subscribe, and I would love to see you in my next one.